Time to give the people what they want. It's Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Anthony Rose.
What up, though?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the Cool Check-In.
Together, we're Jalen Jacoby on ESPN2 and ESPN Radio. What do?
We get the people what they want.
Charlie Villanueva's home was burglarized. There were some things taken, some appliances and this and that. However, before they left, the burglars took my man's toilet. They went with his toilet. He tweeted, "They stole my toilet. I'm not making this up." Still waiting on Dallas PD. Jalen Rose, why in the world would these burglars take his toilet out of the floor, put it in a truck, and drive away with it?
Charlie V, that's little bro. Shout out to his brother Rob also. Here's my assumption. If you're in the crib, you're going to take things that are valuable. And a porcelain toilet can get you some money on the open market.
Can it, though? Can it really? Like, what was it, $150? You know?
But it's one of those things
the
that
open
you
toilet
can get
market,
money from,
that hot dark internet toilet market. Come on now. Do rich people have special toilets? Like, is it one of those? I think you have a special toilet. Like, do you have one of those heated toilets?
We've talked about that on this program before, people that have special toilets. I don't have a special toilet. I just need a nice cushion to be seated.
You got a cushion on your toilet?
Yes.
Wait, you've got a cushioned toilet seat?
Yeah. When you sit down, like...
Oh, God. Moving on.
Like a hydraulic on a car.
Jalen, two of your favorite people of all time have been long in a feud. Magic Johnson and Isiah Thomas, for various different reasons, which we will get into, have been at odds for years. Feels like decades. Well, they've reconciled. Let's watch.
You are my brother. Let me apologize to you if I hurt you, that we haven't been together. And God is good to bring us back together. All right? I know, man. It hurt me too. Come here, man.
First and foremost, both of those gentlemen were my childhood idols.
I think I'm going to cry.
And it didn't stop when I became adult.
I'm definitely going to cry.
They both still represent that in my life. So many people, as athletes, get recognized for their accomplishments on the floor. And yeah, we can talk about the Pistons' back-to-back championships and Magic's championships in college and in the league. But I tell you, I just follow those guys otherwise, in business, in media, trying to be an owner, trying to be a professional. These gentlemen's big smiles, the way they're philanthropic, giving back to their community, family-oriented leaders. And for me to see these two guys, as somebody who grew up following everything they ever said and did, there was a period in my life where one day I had to pick sides. Like, wait a minute, Isiah ain't on the Olympic team? Like, hold on, what's going on? And so, like, I have had periods in my life where I feel like I was going to be a person to help establish what you guys saw yesterday. So for me to actually see it take place, and I'm not going to hide from the second part of this, to also be mentioned, they called out, Magic and Isiah called out C-Webb and myself.
Yep.
To reconcile, to see eye to eye, and to be on the same page. But I have to say something that I don't truly think people understand that is taking place under the Fab Five dynamic and us not necessarily seeing eye to eye. It's not that I and Chris Webber aren't seeing eye to eye. It's that four of us are seeing eye to eye, and when you see the Fab Five documentary, he doesn't contribute. When you see us at the Final Four, we're sitting together and he's not with us. Do we need to squash it? Of course. It's silly, it's dumb. We never had a true argument. Now, there have been times when I've seen him out publicly and he tried to slander and be rude to me, but I just kept it moving. And like those two gentlemen, we've been friends for so very long that everything that I've accomplished and or vice versa, we both have bricks in that building. We both have made sacrifices for the other one to be in a position to be successful as we are today. We deserve it as individuals. The Fab Five, the supporters, and the fans deserve it. But more importantly, our hometown, Detroit, deserves it. So many people that look like us have not learned to resolve confrontation and have a resolution that doesn't end in violence. And this situation deserves for that to happen. My heart is open. My head is open. I wait for the day to take place.
What are you waiting for?
I've reached out. I've extended an olive branch. But like you saw in that video, it takes two people to reconcile. It takes, in our case, multiple people who, for whatever reasons, aren't seeing eye to eye to reconcile.
So, Jalen, I know you're not a crier, but when you and Chris Webber finally do what Magic and Isiah did, you gonna drop a tear, little one?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe so. That is my brother. I do love him. We shall see.
Well, we shall. Moving on, LeVar Ball knows exactly how to keep his name in the news. First, he was pulling his son from UCLA, and then he was going to send him to Lithuania to some small-town team, which was never going to happen. And the latest is this. Now he has started the Junior Basketball League. This is a basketball league for high school players that don't want to go to college, and he says that he will pay these players between $3,000 and $10,000 a month for participation in this league. Now, mind you, this league doesn't exist. No venues have been secured. Tickets are not on sale. This probably won't ever happen. But, Jalen, what is your boy, LeVar Ball, doing now?
First off, that's not my boy. That's my stepdad. The
Jalen.
papers just haven't gotten completed just yet.
Every LeVar Ball news story, someone tells me that, you know what, maybe paperwork and execution and attention to detail is not exactly his thing. Let me just put that out there. I think he seems like he's big on creativity, small on execution. But continue.
So, how many people do you think are in the world, past and or present, that have looked themselves in the mirror, that have said to somebody, that has thought that I want to be a professional basketball player?
Millions. Millions upon millions, myself included.
How many Instagram models are there?
I don't know what an Instagram model is. Not familiar.
My point is, there are so many people that are willing to get paid to play basketball, he will not have problems finding people to participate in his league.
Oh, yes, he will. Oh, yeah.
Regardless of the validity.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is, Jalen, do you think this, okay, let me ask you a better question. Do you think they will ever have a jump ball for this league? Will there ever be one professional game in the Junior Basketball League ever?
No.
No,
Not
exactly. He's just saying things. He just says things. Oh, I'm going to send my kids to Lithuania. No, you're not. I'm going to start the Junior Basketball League. No, you're not. This is not going to happen. The Big Three. The Big Three was a new league that was started this year. That took planning. That took some very serious people involved. Network money, deals, lawyers, contracts, getting it together. All the little things, all the logistics from week to week, going from here to there, getting the ex-pros to sign up. That takes a lot of hard work. LeVar Ball is not willing to put in.
You just touched on the key. The Big Three, led by Ice Cube and Roger Mason, also used the experience and the notoriety of people that were former basketball players. So therefore, you can fill up the Staples Center or have a basketball game in Brooklyn, which I attended, and people actually want to come support those guys who got paid millions of dollars to play basketball and still have skill and want to play in front of an audience. But Jacoby, there are basketball games and or leagues that are taking place that don't get that level of notoriety, that if you tell some high school kids that aren't trying to go to college anyway, that I'm going to pay you $3,000 to $10,000 a month to play basketball versus sticking a gun in somebody's face at an ATM machine or at a stoplight, then I'll take that also.
Of course, but you're looking at it as from a player's perspective. Let me give you the fans' perspective. Oh, you don't have the top recruits? Oh, you got the guys that couldn't make grades? You got the guys that were headed to junior college or community college? Like, those are the type of guys, you guys? And you want to charge me to do what? To go there and watch it? I could go to the park and watch that level of basketball. I do not need to pay my money, get in my car, drive my family there, and buy tickets to go see it. This league is not going to happen, just like his kids playing Lithuania is not going to happen. You know what is going to happen? He's going to say something silly tomorrow, and then we're going to talk about it again, and this whole thing is just a cycle, just like a snake eating its tail, and it never stops, and somehow I got caught in the loop, and I can't believe this happened to me. I'm sad now. Coming up next on Jalen and Jacoby. Wait, is Mayweather going to really fight in the UFC? What is happening in the world today? We'll explain after this. When cutting sandwiches, diagonally or vertically?
Of course, I've eaten sandwiches that were sliced down the middle and sliced diagonally, but I have never cut a sandwich.
What?
Those government cheese sandwiches in the gray box, man, I'm telling you, it takes 30 minutes to melt that cheese. I wasn't cutting it.
Never in a million years did I expect you to say I've never cut a sandwich.
We had limited dishes. You ain't just wasting no dish on cutting a sandwich.
It's like you don't even understand what cutting a sandwich means. Jalen, you no longer have privileges to discuss sandwiches around here. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, it seems like just yesterday, the big Mayweather-McGregor fight was on everyone's TV, and everyone put up the money, and we all watched it. And it was a pretty impressive fight. We feel like we got our money's worth, and that was a good thing. And then Mayweather just kind of disappeared. We assumed he was all going to retire, maybe go into his strip club and hang out for a while. Well, he's back in the news. He is now teasing his return, but not his return to the squared circle. Now he's teasing his return to the octagon, which is kind of a squared circle now that I think about it. He said this, quote, I can come back. If I wanted to, I can come right back to the UFC. I can go fight in the octagon. I can do a 3-4 fight deal in the octagon and make $1 billion. Remember, I'm Floyd Money Mayweather. Well, Dana White spoke to ESPN and acknowledged that there was mutual interest. Jalen, make some sense of this. Floyd Mayweather's not really going to fight in an MMA fight, right?
I can't make any sense of this. My good friend Floyd, two things I know that he's not trying to have happen. One, him get punched in the face. Number two, him get tackled on the ground. Those are two things that he will not allow. He'll go to the bag and pull out something that ain't the $100 million check. If somebody try to throw him on the ground.
Let me just go the other way for a second. What is Floyd's nickname after he was Pretty Boy?
Money. He's money.
Now, I would be lying if I said that if I would not pay $200 to watch Floyd Mayweather fight in the UFC. I'd be lying if I said that I was not willing to do that. And one of the reasons that I felt Floyd was pretty much retired was because of that perfect record, the undefeated record that is so special in the world of sports. If he fights in the octagon, he's not putting that undefeated record in jeopardy. Like, there is a world in which he could say, should I just lose a UFC fight and make $300 million? Or should I just stay home and make $0? Like, this does make money. Does that make sense?
Floyd trying to continue to build his business as an entrepreneur, the adult establishment he started in Vegas. As a matter of fact, if you want, I'll text him and see if we can do the show from there. We have a better chance of doing that on a Disney dime than him getting in the octagon.
Jalen, we're not doing the show from a strip club. We're not doing the show from a strip club. The show might have been born in a strip club, but I will not let it die in a strip club. Moving on before we get fired. Tom Brady's longtime trainer and business partner and guru, Alex Guerrero, has had all of his privileges revoked from the New England Patriots. He used to treat a lot of the players. He used to be on the sideline. He used to ride in the plane. And now Bill Belichick and the Patriots have put an end to all of that, saying he can only treat Tom Brady. He cannot fly on the plane, and he has lost his Patriot privileges. There's been some reports from Adam Schefter in the Boston Globe of a rift between Guerrero and the franchise. Jalen, Do you think Alex Guerrero has caused some unwanted tension amongst the Patriots?
I think so. If we're talking about it, with a franchise that normally keeps everything insulated, finds ways to move on to the next play, to the next game, eliminate distractions, and compete at an elite level that continues to find ways to end up in the championship circle. The first thing I thought about when I heard about this, number one, the entrepreneurial spirit. It's one thing that you're able to train Tom Brady and get a check. But it's another thing, you got an office in our building and our other players are also paying you to train them, to give them advice and stuff like that. That's being able to, I guess, burn both ends of the candle. And also, there's nothing foreign about a trainer, a family member, an agent, a supporter not being able to have all of the privileges that somebody on the staff and a player has. It's a great opportunity for Tom that he was able to do it for so long, and he's 40 years old and he's still having the success. But like they said, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. You can continue to work him out. We'll stay out of that.
Do you know what they need to do next? Now we need to get the comic. We need to get rid of the comics now, Tom. The TB12, the whole comic thing needs to go. You got rid of the trainer. Let's get rid of the cartoonist as well while we're clearing house. Moving on. Jalen Rose, Christmas is very special, not just to everybody around the world that celebrates that holiday, but also to NBA fans. However, this year, in the big game on ABC, when Jalen's got his haircut and his suit and his accessories, Steph Curry will not be participating as the Cavs take on the Warriors. Jalen, it was all due to this sprained ankle that he suffered. How bummed out are you that we will not have Steph on Christmas?
Really bummed out. As a matter of fact, it's not just Steph. That's the headline. But also Isiah Thomas won't be playing. Another all-NBA caliber player from last year. But it still won't take away the dynamics of LeBron James and Kevin Durant, who many, like myself, feel like the top two players in the game, will be going mano a mano because KD gave him a business in the finals, though LeBron had the better overall individual stats.
Very important question. Does your barber cut your hair on Christmas morning, or do you get it done on Christmas Eve?
See, here's the thing. Like, I might turn into you, man.
What happened?
Because I hit him, and I'm trying to get a cut on Christmas morning, and he like, oh, I'm going to be out of town on the 23rd.
It's Christmas morning. He's like, come on. I'm not working on Christmas morning. Just get a haircut. Just get a regular haircut on Christmas Eve. It'll still look good on Christmas Day, Jalen. I promise. I promise. You are too rich. We need to take some of your money. Give up some of your money. Coming up next on Jalen and Jacoby.
I need a fresh cut an hour before the meeting starts.
Kristaps Porzingis has fully embraced his role as a New Yorker. He bought the Knicks Timbs. We'll review after this.
Are today.
Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2 and ESPN Radio. Jalen, Kristaps Porzingis has been in New York for only a few seasons, but New York has fully embraced the Porzing God. The unicorn has become a cult figure amongst fans in the whole tri-state area, but now he has embraced the tri-state area. Do you know how I know this? Look at the presents that he bought his teammates. For all of his teammates, he got them custom Timberland boots. Timberland boots are the official footwear of New York City. Jalen Rose, when you were with the Knicks, did you wear Timberlands?
I didn't have to be with the Knicks to wear Timberlands. And I love New York City. Like anybody that isn't from there, that's lived there, played for the team, got many friends that live in the tri-state area. I have breaking news for you East Coasters. Y'all ain't the only person that wear Timbs.
Oh, stop it.
Y'all did not invent that.
Oh, stop it. Oh, stop
Y'all
it.
didn't. The weak Timbs, the originals.
Jalen.
I'm from the Midwest.
Jalen.
We've been doing that also. And let me tell you one other thing.
Jalen.
I like Porzingis. And when he got drafted, I appreciated the fact that he loved world star hip hop. That's what we have in common. But let's not act like spending $1,400 on Timbs is going to get him $1.4 million worth of press. This is slightly a culture vulture move, but I ain't mad at him because he's a terrific player.
Oh, come on. Jalen, first of all, First of all the things that you claim to have invented or take credit for, and then you're going to be like, no, New Yorkers, you don't get. What do you always say? You don't have to invent it. You just popularized it. And New York City popularized wearing the Timberland boot is for fashion and not for function. And that's a fact. And I'm going to move on because I don't even want to hear your answer. I don't even want to hear your answer. Let me get. You probably invented those stupid glasses too, didn't you? Didn't you?
No,
you
New York
invented
City.
everything.
Crush Groove,
Yes,
B Street.
Exactly.
Lee and B Street.
Thank you very much. Moving on. Yesterday, we showed this
Shout out to
video
NY.
of this fan at the Hawks game against the Heat. Remember this fan throwing up all over the place right behind the Hawks bench? That was at the end of the game. We now have new information. After the first quarter, the Heat's Dion Waiters threw up. And when asked why he threw up, he said he ate too much spaghetti. I don't know why this game involves so much vomit. But my question for you is, Jalen, have you ever eaten too much before an NBA game?
I've never eaten too much, especially to put me in the position to call Earl. But here's what I will say.
It sounded like you were about to throw up right there.
No, I eat a lot of popcorn, and I had the hiccups because of it. But I will say this. In Atlanta, people go on dates at the strip club. And don't talk about their food, because I'm telling you, some of the best chefs in restaurants, steaks, seafood, and sides happen in adult entertainment establishments in the Atlanta area.
No, before an NBA game, I have never eaten too much. Throw it in the air, catch it in your mouth. That'll be a great way to sign off. Do it once. Oh, I love it. He is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jalen Jacoby on ESPN2. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We'll be back tomorrow if we don't get canceled.